It's Week 8 of the 2022 season, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning NFC champs and the Ravens coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses are true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
Now Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, boy, now you see him, now you don't. Excellent move, nice run, winds up getting about 6. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. Justin Matabike there to bring him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Third and long for Prescott. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a fourth and long. Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off the play fake. Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Jackson to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Flush to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Let's go.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it's no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Prescott off play action. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. That time, a 9-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
All day, baby, all day.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Real quick. Check Mike 11. You're not ready. You're not ready. Hey, check Mike 11. Check Mike 11.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. That's complete. Left side to Bateman. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Hey, check Mike 11. Check Mike.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Throwing is Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Well, I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. On the option, it's Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
No running room for Zeke on first down, as he'll maybe get a yard out of that.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 39.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
10th carry now for Elliott. Malik Harrison on the tackle.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. On play action, Prescott. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Malik Harrison with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check back 11, check back 11.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Tucker now for the extra point. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Now Pollard. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about... And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Don't stop that motor. Come on,
2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard, where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point.
Check back 11, check back 11.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. From the 44, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. And now they're in the hurry-up. A first down throw for Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Hey, 47. 42. We're going to 52. No. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And nothing comes of this last-ditch attempt at points as time will run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Dalvin Cook with 2 touchdowns there. Next, we head down to Houston to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Texans seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And that one all even as they play the visiting Cleveland Browns. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Dave's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll go option to the short side. First down and more. Fighting through it. He's got space. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, He committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out?
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not, it's not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play here for Dallas.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll get in. Touchdown,
Man, I've seen that play a couple of times already.
Blake Jarwin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. It's caught at the 1. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to...
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. This is something that we saw quite a bit at Oklahoma, and we'll be seeing it more and more on the NFL level as well. Marquise Brown going Hollywood.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They go to Elliott again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Escaping the pressure right. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's got room. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 85 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott to throw it. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zerline now for the PAT. He knocks it through, and it's 35-21. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the pass. Mike.
Here's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now Jackson. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Neville Gallimore with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. On 2nd down, Elliott once more takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
We played to win.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to. Check. Here we go, 54, go to 54, Ryan. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, 26.
Now Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Second and 10.
Hey, check. Here we go, 47. Hey, kill. 47. Then we're going to 52. Crunch. Wait, take. Switch.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Kill. Show it. Check 13.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching.
Check 26. Let's go, Vince. Gonna be a long day on Vince.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he goes out right around the 39. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not a... And now 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Pollard. He juked him, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Switch gears.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
First try for the right arm of Dalton here. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Dalton. Throw left side, complete. That's Elliott. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
Let's go.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Passing, it's Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Cowboys trot out Greg Zuerlein. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Jackson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that's caught inside the 35.
Let's go, baby.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Here we go, it's Jackson on 4th down. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
You got to be smarter than that, man. Come on.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, The guys who just gave up that play.
On second down now, Pollard. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. And now Cooper, slow to get up. Staying down after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Dalton. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go back to Pollard on second down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Big spot, Andy Dalton. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 13, a little under 1:50 remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Jackson connecting with Andrews, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Jackson to throw, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Pollard now a first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Here's Pollard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And this a 39-yard attempt. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will swell the lead to 16. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.